Frequency, Chapter 6, Part 2. The guard led her deeper into the castle, heading down a number of halls that were lined with simple blue doors. They passed through a particularly large one at the end of a hallway to enter a wide room that looked almost like a waiting area. A pair of ponies sat at a nearby desk playing cards. They looked up upon the arrival of their guests.
"Hey, Caster!"
the guard behind the desk called.
"Who's the civilian?"
Caster's grimace had yet to fall off her lips.
"Either one of Flash's fanfillies or a pony in a lot of trouble."
The other guard scoffed and went back to his cards. Must be nice to be a pretty colt. What, does he have one in every city? Vinyl let out a snarl and galloped to the desk, slamming the radio on top of it and scattering their cards.
"I don't have time for your yammering! Where's Flash? I need him!"
The guard behind the desk sneered. Oh, there are a lot of mares that claim to need Flash. His companion pouted.
I was winning that game.
No, you weren't.
How would you know? Were you reading my cards again, you damn cheater?
You can't prove I ever did, knucklehead. Vinyl raised her hoof, prepared to slam it on the desk, but it was caught by Caster's magic. She struggled against it as Caster turned to the other two.
Come on, guys, she's the feisty one. Tell me where Flash is stationed so I can get her out of our tails.
Alright, fine. The guard opened a drawer and pulled out a logbook. He flicked the pages with his magic for a few seconds before finding one that was mostly empty. Sentry. Oh, here he is. Still on duty for... He glanced at a clock on the wall. Another couple of hours. Vinyl's hoof finally jerked free from the magic, and she nearly fell from the sudden motion.
Where is he?
It's against protocol to...
Where is he?
Caster sighed.
Just tell us, Rook. I already told her she's going to jail if I find she's just chasing tail. And besides...
She patted Vinyl's shoulder.
She does seem pretty determined. I'm inclined to believe her. Yeah.
The other guard grumbled.
And I want to get back to our game.
With a sigh, Rook closed the book. He's guarding Princess Cadence's chambers, as usual. Like I said, must be nice to be a pretty colt. Vinyl turns to gallop off, but slid to a stop with a curse as she realized she had no idea where she was going. She glanced back, hooves dancing yet again as Caster rolled her eyes and approached.
Come on, let's find your stallion.
As they walked through the marble halls, it dawned upon Vinyl that she'd never seen the inside of the castle before. The thought delivered a shot of extra nervousness into her blood, and her eyes darted about the splendor that seemed to seep from every crevice and corner. She didn't let it distract her for long, though. A familiar chill ran down her spine as her eyes went back to the radio. What if it was too late?
How far is it? 8 floors up.
Vinyl whimpered, grabbing the radio out of the air and tucked it under one leg.
I'm coming at you, just hold on.
Caster glanced back at her with a curious expression, but said nothing. Time seemed to wear on. They passed through endless halls, great rooms with unknown purposes, and up enough stairs to make Vinyl's legs hurt. Every corner was gilded, every column was ornate, every window towering. Yet it all eerily empty, their hoofsteps echoing in the cool air. Vinyl used to always wonder what it was like in this grand place, but now she wished she'd come during the day. After what seems like an eternity, they passed into a large hallway that was a bit less ornate than the others. With a soft red carpet and gentler tones, it struck Vinyl as more... pleasant? Perhaps it was the residential area of the castle? That thought had her tired hooves dancing yet again, for if accurate, then they were almost to their destination. They rounded a corner, and there was Flash standing alongside a fellow guard before a large red door. Vinyl let the radio float in her magic once more, and bounded towards him.
Flash!
He turned his head towards her, his bored expression dropping swiftly as his eyes bulged. He opened his mouth, but stopped short of calling back, his eyes darting to the door. Vinyl came to a stop before him.
Oh, thank goddess! I need your help! You've got it!
Pressing both hooves to her lips, he hissed. Keep it down, the princess is sleeping. What the hell are you doing here? She pushed his hooves away and shoved the radio between them. She managed to keep her voice low, but it wasn't easy.
It's Addie! She's gone! I can't talk to her and I don't know how she'll react to being alone again. You have to help me get her back.
And how am I supposed to do that? She floated the radio to the side and stepped closer.
Princess Luna, I need to get into the night court to speak to her now. Addie can't wait another week and a half for an appointment.
Flash shot Castor a wide-eyed look, then turned it on his partner on the other side of the door. Vinyl didn't even look to get their reactions. She focused all her attention on Flash, her lip trembling. You're gonna get me demoted, he whispered. What makes you think I can get you in there?
Because you're a guard,
she replied firmly.
You're my friend, and there's too much at stake.
He groaned and shook his head. Vinyl, I can't just waltz into the night court and—
Please!
She came forward, pushing him against the wall with her forehooves and locking eyes with him.
You've gotta help me. Addie could be doing something extreme as we speak. She needs help, and this is the only thing I know to do. Please, Flash.
He stared at her, his back pressed to the wall and his wings twitching. A second passed. Another. He glanced once more to his companion and Castor. Then he stared at Vinyl a bit more. She could almost see the gears turning in his head. She leaned a little closer.
Please.
At last, he let out another groan and shoved her off. Flash pointed to Castor. You? He pointed at the floor. Stay.
But I'm supposed to be—
Stay. Castor grumbled, but did as she was told, taking Flash's place by the door. With a firm nod, he turned to Vinyl. Hold on. Vinyl blinked as he walked behind her.
Hold on? What are you— Hey!
With a powerful flap of his wings, the Pegasus caught Vinyl by her shoulders and lifted off. The hull flew past in a blur.
Whoa, wait a minute, I've never flown before.
Yes, you have. You just don't remember.
I have not! Put me down!
You want to get to Night Court quickly, don't you? She looked up at him with a quiet gasp. Though her heart hammered in her chest, she stopped fighting and focused on the goal. The radio was trailing behind them, and she quickly brought it forward and wrapped it in her hooves for safekeeping.
Thanks, Flash.
Don't thank me, he replied. You're gonna hate me in about 5 seconds.
What? Why would I— Whoa, that's not a door.
Vinyl tucked her hind legs in and let out a shout as Flash flew between a pair of columns, past a balcony, and into the night sky. Canterlot was spread hundreds of feet beneath her. She sucked in a sharp breath and clutched her radio.
If you drop me, I will kill you.
He shot her a wry grin. Don't tempt me.
Not funny.
Her stomach dropped as he made a wide turn, her hind legs rising in an arc.
This is not fun at all.
Flash laughed. And to think, you wanted to make sport out of this. Vinyl gritted her teeth and fought to keep her lunch down. She didn't dare speak or even move lest he lose his hold. They had circled the castle and risen several floors, and now Flash took them towards a large balcony. They darted over a tower, Vinyl instinctually raising her hind legs in fear of hitting the blue ceiling. At last, Flash slowed to a steady descent, dropping her gently to the balcony floor. Vinyl collapsed to her barrel, clutching the radio and trembling. She took a few short gasps, then glanced up to find Flash landing before her.
I hate you.
He smirked. Told ya. Legs wobbling, she climbed to her hooves and glared at him.
Next time you want to take me flying, give me some warning.
He pressed a hoof to her lips, his expression going solemn as he gestured with his head to the balcony window. She paused, then glanced over. The darkly lit throne room was just on the other side of the glass. And there, sitting upon the throne and addressing some noble pony, was Princess Luna. Vinyl could only gape. She'd never been so close to royalty before, and the princess struck an imposing figure. She sat tall, her eyes hard as steel, and her lips set in a firm scowl. The thought that she was about to interrupt the princess's court when she looked so upset already made Vinyl tremble. She looked down at the radio and closed her eyes, recalling that first night when she'd heard Addie sounding so lost and scared. She had to do this. Hold it. Flash pressed her back before she could approach the window. Let me. I'm less likely to get sent to the moon. Vinyl's eyes widened.
Does she actually do that?
Not that I know of. Flash turned and studied the princess with a solemn frown before adding, but there's a first time for everything. I wonder what it would look like getting sent to the moon. Not that I'd want that, but, you know, it's just curiosity. Anyways, let's get on to our powerful donators. Top donators are 630, BadassWaffle, Only One Thing, Ceru, Orion, IronSky, and Jessie Smith. Magic 109, JockeTF, Tuxedo, Rayden, Narwhals, Blackmoonheart, Pastel Skies, Alistair, Rollins, 2 Hex, Stormbrother, Mortar, Omicron, Library, Inside 9852, Will, Chris, Wiki, Rise, Soul, Shadowman, Luigi 88, Chancellor Quest, Big Smoke 369, Bobcat, JGF, Murder Princess, and many more amazing people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and love life to the fullest.